I'm Sara Cormier. I'm the chef of Memphis Q at the Beau Rivage. And happy holidays. Today we're going to be making some eggnog. So I have some eggs already split, but we're gonna start and I'll show you real quick. Real easy. Just separate the whites into one bowl. You really don't want that shell in there. Makes for an unpleasant eggnog, but it's not a big deal if it's a little piece. Okay, so once we get our eggs separated, I do have 6 and 6, so I have 6 yolks and 6 whites. What I'm gonna do is start by beating the whites just a little bit. You wanna use the whisk and aerate. The more air you can get in the whites, the frothier and lighter the eggnog's gonna be. Once it starts to get a little bit whiter, gonna get a little more color to it, we're gonna add just a little bit of our sugar here. So we're just gonna keep whipping until it sort of all comes together as one. For a little while, you're gonna be able to see the frothiness on top and still, you know, the liquid white on the bottom, and they're gonna be separate. But as you keep going, it's gonna start to become real nice, light, fluffy, airy. And that's what we're looking for. Now we're using pasteurized eggs. You can use fresh eggs, but because we're not cooking it, I would recommend using pasteurized eggs. And all eggs in the grocery stores at this point, or you know, wherever you're gonna buy them like that, are gonna be pasteurized. But that's completely up to you and your family and what you decide to do. All right, so we're looking about done here on our whites. It's kind of like a real soft peak is sort of how they call that there. And then we're just gonna set that to the side for a moment. Now we're gonna move on to our yolks. Now with the yolks, just beat them up a little bit. Now we have, you can add any kind of variation you'd like to eggnog. Today, we're going to use a couple different liquors here, our sugar, and I also have some fresh nutmeg. But I have a vanilla bean you can use cinnamon, sort of anything that you like to your flavor profile. So we're gonna start, I have some dark rum, about a half a cup, about a half a cup of brandy, and about a half a cup of bourbon. And we're just gonna give that a good little mix with the yolks. And then once that's all mixed together, we're gonna go ahead and add about a cup of sugar. Sugar makes everything better. So once that's all combined pretty nicely in there, it's real easy, so you kind of can just throw it all together. I have about a quart of half and half here that I'm gonna go ahead and add right into that. And then at this point, you can go ahead and add your seasoning. So I have some fresh nutmeg. You can use the already grated nutmeg is fine too. Fresh just brings out the flavor and it's just so pungent, the fragrance here. But we're gonna stir that in. Now, optimally, you wanna leave this to sit. Once we're gonna add these whites back in, you wanna leave it to sit in your refrigerator for about 2 days before you go ahead and serve it. That way, all of these flavors are just gonna come together, the liquors, the sugars are gonna melt, and it's just gonna be beautiful. So at this point, I have my nog mixture, and we're gonna add the rest of our egg. The key to this is you don't want to mix it like crazy. So you kind of just want to put maybe half of it in Give it a little stir, and then fold the rest of it in real nice. And then you can leave it covered or uncovered. It really won't make a difference. In the refrigerator for a couple of days. Now, when you do that, I have one here that I have put in to a glass, because when it sits and it all comes together, those whites sort of come to the top, and you're gonna have this lovely frothy sort of cap on top of this delicious eggnog seasonal beverage that everybody's gonna love and your family's gonna love, and it will become a tradition every year. And everywhere you go, everybody's gonna ask you, bring the eggnog, can you make the eggnog? So we'll top it off with a little extra nutmeg, and that's all you gotta do.